these examples that I'm giving you, in all of these kinds of settings, one thing is common: insincerity. I'm only united with you because we need to win this game. I'm only united with you because we need to make these sales. Other than that, you can fall off a cliff, I wouldn't care. Other than that, I would not be in the same room with you. I can't stand the thought of you or the sight of you. You understand? So there's an agenda, there's a material agenda that unites people. Other than that, they couldn't care less. There are people, and when you think of politics, you think of, the Democratic and Republican Party, and almost insignificantly the Independents. But even if you think of these parties, you think, oh, they're on one, the Democrats are all together, the Republicans are all together. These people inside their own party, they hate each other's guts. They would love to destroy each other, even within one party. تَحْسَبُهُمْ جَمِيعًا وَقُلُوبُهُمْ شَتَّى. Allah says, you think their hearts are all united. Their hearts are all over the place. You think they're one, they're all over the place. So the question then is, when Allah is calling on us to be one ummah, that we are in fact one ummah, then we have to ask, what is it that is uniting us? What exactly is it that's uniting us? And if that force that unites us is anything short of the most powerful, if it's the most powerful motivation that unites us, then the unity itself will be strong. But if the thing that unites us is something less, then the unity itself will be weak. It'll be as weak as the thing that brought us together. So for example, now we're sitting in this masjid in Fort Worth, and we're all coming from different, some of you are coming from work, some of you are coming from home, some of you are coming from your businesses. You're all coming and sitting here in this masjid together. The men here, the women here, the children here. And all of us that are here together, we're united by this desire to worship Allah. That's what we're united by. But actually, right after this is done, we're all going to go back individually. So even though there's a few hundred of us, even 1,000 of us, if we're all together, we're actually 1,000 individuals. We're not united except by an act. We came and performed an act together, and then we left. That's it. This was not a demonstration of unity. This was a demonstration of a common objective. That's all we had, a common objective. All of our objective was to make Salatul Jum'ah. That was it. This does not show that this community is united in any way. This doesn't show that. This is about, because our purpose is, it's a sincere purpose, it's worship. But if you're just united by an objective, and that's all it is, then as soon as that objective is over, your unity is over. Nothing else matters. I just want my kids to go to the masjid. I just want my kids to learn some Qur'an. I just want to be, I just want to feel connected to Islam in some way. That's all. If that's all your connection is, then that's all it is. Once that is met, you have no other interest. You have no other purpose. The Qur'an paints a very different picture of what unity looks like. It's not driven by an activity. It's not driven by a giant Eid prayer. And I laugh and cry at the same time every year when I hear people arguing about which day should we celebrate Eid. Because we should be united celebrating it on the same day. And I look at that discussion and I say, really? If all of us were celebrating Eid on the same exact day, that would be unity to you? Those 20 minutes? That's what unity is? You don't even know that the person you're praying next to is their family members in the hospital. You don't know. You don't even know this woman just lost her business, or this one just lost their dad, or this one just, lost their job, or this one's going through a health crisis, or this one's going through, you don't know. So what's the unity? A picture that shows lots of people standing together? That's unity. We have artificial, meaningless, I would argue, artificial and meaningless standards of unity. And that's why when we complain that we don't have unity, our complaint is also meaningless. It's the same as what I mentioned before. You're standing in front of a field, nothing is growing, and you're like, hey, there's nothing growing here. Wow, how come it's not there already for me? It should already exist and I could just walk into a garden. No. Unless you're ready to be the gardener, there's nothing to complain about. So let's take a step back a little bit and think about that. And I'm first and foremost going to talk to the men. And I just want you to sisters, bear with me. Your turn will come. If not today, one day, inshallah. But for now, I'm just going to address the men. For many men in the Muslim community, and I've had many conversations with lots and lots of men across the Muslim communities in the world and also in the United States. One of the most common things you hear from men the feelings that you get from men, everybody needs something from me. My family needs something from me. My parents need something from me. My kids need something from me. My wife needs something from me. My in-laws need something from me. My boss needs something from me. My community needs something from me. Everybody needs something. And if they get a phone call, even if before they pick up a phone call, it's not going to be about them. Hey, I just wanted to say salam. Are you doing okay? Is everything all right with you? Let's get together sometime. And even if someone calls and says, Assalamualaikum, how are you? Already in your head is, how are you? But what do you really want? What is this about? What's this call for? Nobody's getting in touch with you because they care about you. They're getting in touch with you because they care about something you can give them. So either you're a cash register, or you're a service dispenser, or you're a connector. That's all you are. You're just there to be utilized. You're a tool to be used. And that's it. Nobody else cares about you. Nobody actually sees you for who you are, right? And then you come to the masjid and you hear Muslims are all brothers. Assalamualaikum, brother. And you give each other hugs and salams and dua for each other and all of that. That's great. And the moment you say, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm busy. I'm kind of busy right now. Because nobody has time for you. Nobody has time for you. And take it a step further, when in many families, people depend on you. They depend on you. You're providing, for example, right? And then all of a sudden you get sick and you lose your job. Not only do you lose your job, you lose your respect in the family. People don't look at you the same way anymore. Nobody calls you, and they used to call you all the time. They don't call you anymore. They don't check up on you, nothing. In fact, they're avoiding you as best as possible. You know why? Because all of a sudden you went from someone who was giving to someone who might be asking. So let's stay away from someone who might be asking. If this is the condition even inside of our families, what do you imagine is the condition when we expand that a little bit to a level of a community? What happens then? What happens when people feel nobody actually cares about them? And we happen to live in a society. The United States is different from